Welcome back, I'm playing Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormground, and we'll continue on with our campaign. Trying to remember where we left off. We were attacking Pilgrim's Lament, I guess. Slay the enemy commander. And we had some castigators, which are fully leveled. You're fully leveled. You're fully leveled. You guys still need to level. I suppose I could just max you out, but I don't see that there's really a need to do that. Let's go.
By Sigmar, I have arrived!
Alright, if I do this, I got a feeling I'm probably going to regret it, but we'll see. Good block.
The Sky Helms advance! I am Sigmar's to command.
The plague kindred stand ready.
Good, keep upgrading them.
What is the breathing?
My
Kill him.
Sigmar, do not forsake me!
Suck it up.
The righteous path is the only path.
By the
Challenge
and boils we are
immense.
fake further.
Your foes will not stop my justice.
I have been shaped by the grandfather.
Can I really just kill this guy in one turn? Yep. Definitely improved guard. God pool. Enemy commander profanes this landmark. I hate this damn mission. Let him die for his transgressions. Oh wait, no, this is not the mission I thought it was. This is actually the final mission. I thought this is the one where I had to go in circles. Well, let's get you to max level then. Guess we can do that. Does she have the armor? You've got the health. I think I'd rather you have the health, the improved armor. Because that'll block even more damage. Alright, so the swords have the protection, the hammers have the boost. You guys have that. Alright.
The Sky Hell Brotherhood brings justice.
Alright, we want to kill this guy.
Going there.
I will lead the charge. Their end draws near. Their end draws near.
Good block.
Looks razor hungry. Spread the teeth. We go now. Chew on this.
I'll harvest.
Sigmar, give me strength.
Have one more place after that well. Begin the assault. We are prepared.
This is Sigmar, do not forsake me.
Fly.
Ah! My commitment is absolute.
The plague kindred stand ready.
Alright, let's start protecting.
Thunderer, stand with us! Flange fist on our enemy!
As the God King wills.
Plague carrier disease.
Stormcast Liberators ready. Aha!
The castigators have come.
Let's wait another turn, I guess.
Taking hits! Stormcast Liberators ready.
Encounter present. Moving.
Liberate this territory.
Guard and movement.
I am Sigmar's to command. My commitment is absolute. Ever onward!
Oh, divine purpose gives you
Sigmar lends us his power!
health. Okay. Or not health, but damage.
Sigmar has guided us.
Castigators standing by. Castigators standing by.
Alright, he should die from the flame.
The luck never ceases. Put away! We go now. You have new trouble over the untainted. Huh? No more.
Cannons cast! Just give us a target. Castigators advancing.
Like thunder!
Flash fist on our enemy!
Liberators, prepare to bring justice. Sigmar lends us his power! Liberators, ready to do our duty for the Azir! The Sky-Held Brotherhood has arrived.
Heal everybody's health. Alright, end turn, I guess. Ah, he moved.
These are classic magics!
The righteous path is the only path.
Frenzy, frenzy, frenzy. Okay.
Father, forgive me.
Stormcast, with me. We go.
Yes, take my rope back.
Alright, that should hopefully get rid of that corrosive area here too. I'm a little worried about you. I guess we might as well attack. If nothing else is happening.
How long do we endure their blows?
Castigators unleashed!
Liberate this territory. Protectors of the Azir.
Charge!
The arcane is at my command. I will strike down everyone!
Cannot stop me.
The God King has sent us.
Heal everybody's health further.
My God can fix it. Send us to see the good one. Eat my
power unleashed!
How long do we endure their blows?
Arm the great bows!
Get rid of this deflect.
Liberators, ready to do our duty. In Sigmar's name!
They are targeting us!
Free this realm.
I am Sigmar's to command.
We are ended!
Liberators, ready to do our duty. Make this land Sigmar's once again. Command us in the thunderous forward march. Liberators, ready to do our duty.
I am the storm. Ah!
Stormcast Liberators ready.
Alright.
Send us to be the good suck it up!
Ah! Spite them!
I unleash my faction. Casualties are rising! Ready to serve the planeful.
For the Thunderer! Liberators advancing. Liberators, ready to do our duty. In Sigmar's name! Sigmar's chosen.
The arcane is at my command. The most accurate in Azir.
Alright. End turn.
A miracle.
Fire damage killed him. I think that's a victory on the hardest difficulty, is it not? Ascended in power and blessed by your god's favor, you have wrested control of the realm from the would-be masters. Yet as long as the gods continue to vie for dominance of the realms, the eternal struggle continues. Greater foes and challenges ever await you. Congratulations, you have conquered the realm. Onwards to greater challenges. Armor of the Liberator. First forged by slaves who rose up against the cruel Chaos Masters and won their freedom through liberation, or through rebellion. The spirit of revolt continues for those who wear it. Alright. So I have since completed it with all of them. Alright, well, so I guess that's the Stormcast Eternals playthrough. Was a little bit of a learning curve early on in the game, but pretty much once you get good equipment, if you just deck out your main hero, you can just have her run around, capture lots of items, and then as long as you get yourself a healer, you can keep her alive, keep healing. You learn how to stack a lot of abilities. The Liberators have the power to use the shields, which can give them significant armor, and it also gives them a healing ability. And then with their equipment you can and their abilities, you can start stacking things. So you know, each one I would summon, you could get additional health for all the other ones, and if you get up to 4, that's 4 extra health, as my understanding, or 2 extra health, because only 2 of them would have it, unless you got extra cards for the other group. And then using the extra summoning, you always want to select that if you can, because that effectively increases the amount of times you can summon a unit, which one helps increase the rate that they gain XP to level up to unlock additional slots, and 2, it allows you to not have to pay the miracle cost for resurrecting units when you can start duplicate summons. Focusing on armor is definitely very good easy on. You gotta, by making her a tank like I did, it allows you to just rush through and allow your other support characters to be high tier. If she was really weak and needed other characters to keep her alive like you do early game, then I wouldn't have been able to equip such a high tier army. I think there was a whole nother unit that I never got to use. From what I saw on the cards, I selected it, but then it never showed up in my inventory. I suspect that would have been an even better unit, but you know, the hunters are cool early on, because you can throw the traps down, block the enemy heroes, and then run in there and really mess them up, shoot them from range. So early on you got to focus on range, and then as you get better equipment you can then later in the game fight. One thing that I did find kind of annoying, but I guess it also makes sense practically, is you get all this cool equipment, but the higher the difficulty you go on, the less of the cool equipment you get to use. So you get to equip, you know, maybe 2 units, fully kit them out, and then you're required to get lower tier units later in the game, or later as you're playing through the map campaign, and then you can't use any of the cool equipment that you get, so you stockpile all this elite tier equipment and you can't use it unless you go back to the easier difficulties. The other thing that I found kind of strange is early on I'd, you know, get into these vault battles and some other things, and there'd be some story going on, and then that just like crapped out. So that was a little bit disappointing, because if they kind of continued that, added a lot of random battles and things that kind of add some variability, I think that would have greatly improved the campaign and made it much more interesting. Likewise, once I got to the map for Nurgle, the Maggotkin, there was like no dialogue. Like, at least when you'd fight the battles, there'd be kind of this introductory dialogue, but that didn't happen at the higher, like the other maps, which was kind of frustrating. I wish there was a little more variation. I mean, you could have got more variation with equipment, but again, you don't get to use it all and get to play around with the equipment, because you only get 2 units to take with you on the hardest difficulty. Would have been nice if there'd be a little more variation with the squads as well. You know, I never used the protectors. Well, I very rarely used them. They just weren't very good. The same with the ones on the Griffin. You know, just didn't seem to do a whole lot of damage. I think if I would have got access to the Lords, though, they would have been a much more interesting unit. I also kind of wish that the units would level up a little bit more. I mean, I get that the low tier, you know, you get 3 levels, a medium tier get 4 levels, and then your hero getting a high tier. But as you're making your way through the game, you can reach that tier, and then, you know, effectively I just didn't have any use for experience later on. So that got to be a little disappointing, so I effectively used the lower tier units just to kind of challenge myself, but by the time you get to the end, there's no use for the experience, because you've already seen what everybody has to offer. I mean, I guess you can save it up and then just get your guys to max right away as you're playing through the campaign, but once you reach everything, since there's no additional random encounters or anything, there's now no reason to go back and do this any further, because I've already seen everything it has to offer. So, a little disappointing overall. Not a bad campaign. I'll be curious to see what the Night Haunts We'll do that next. And then the Megakin, what I'm a little bit worried about is it says you can only have one campaign at a time. So now I've made my way through here. Is that effectively going to mean that I lose all of her equipment and units and everybody else? Because that would be very, very frustrating if that's how it works. That doesn't save it independently. The other thing is I'm not sure about the lore. Is the lore going to be the same throughout, and like I can keep stacking the lore on each other, or is it different lore for different characters? So I might just go through and take a look at that real quick and see what we got here, and just to take a look.
Those who attain.
Alright, yep, you're fine. Yeah, see, I just never got that other character. I have no idea where it went. Alright, let's take a look at the lore here. I'm so annoyed that this doesn't go in order.
Braving the blighted realm.
Oh, it
light
plays!
gives
Oh
me
my god.
purpose. It is true, but it carries no joy with it. How long has it been since phantom steel bit into me, fighting in Gyran's depths? Now I come to the realm of the horror that once slew me. The pain of my reforging lingers still. Even that is nothing compared to the pain of losing Cobalt. Is that a blessing? Or a curse? I know it is not my place to decide. I have my duty to perform for the good of the mortal realms. That is enough. I will lead my new Stormcast Brotherhood, named in my honor, and together we will strike down the perfidious spirits infesting Thanator's manse. Then, Sigmar willing, I will know something of a warrior's rest. At least for a short while. Our campaign against the resurrected is progressing, but this damnable manse seems endless, and its trapped spirits will not be quietened. At times I have strange waking dreams, where I recall times I thought long lost. I see visions of my youth, before my apotheosis at the hands of great Sigmar. Then I was a young, eager warrior of the Thunderer, desperate to prove my worth against all the evils of the 8 realms. I remember how I fell in battle, how Sigmar raised me up at the last instant and forged me anew, in gold, in azure, and in lightning. I still know the sense of duty I felt then. If anything, it has only grown stronger. Since my raising, I have seen the common folk of the realms, witnessed their struggles, seen how cruelly they are preyed upon. They deserve justice, they deserve protection, and I have the strength to give them both. I pray these visions are sent to me by noble Sigmar, to remind me of the legacy I have followed since I was a child. If they are intended as some cruel taunt by the ghast that lurks at the heart of this crumbling labyrinth, then I will make it wish it had never stirred my memory so. Yesterday, Vortex, one of my foremost lieutenants, was sent back to Sigmar by one of the bitter blades of these vile spirits. I mourn him, even as I pray by the lightning and the hammer that I shall see and fight alongside him again. There is little time for grief. And besides, I fear the creatures that infest this place would feed off my sorrow. We must press on. Into the dark. Our casualties are mounting and time grows short. I will see this blasted manse purged, even if I have to endure 100 reforgings at Sigmar's hand.
That's what I don't quite understand about the lore on this. So the world ends, and then I guess Sigmar's the god, and then he reforges and resurrects guys. But then once you're resurrected, are these units effectively immortal? Because she's like, oh, my lieutenant died, I'm so bad. But then we die, and then we just get reforged over and over and over again. So can't you just be resurrected too and just keep doing things over? I don't understand what the lore is. Or maybe is there like certain weapons in this lore that you can't get resurrected? Or if you're not resurrected, what happens when you die? Do you end up getting your soul sent to like Nurgle or Nagash or something like that, and then you're no longer in with Sigmar? I don't understand how the whole thing works on this. So if somebody knows, please enlighten me, because I'm very confused on how this works, because I really know nothing about the Age of Sigmar.
I believe we stand on the cusp of final victory. Or the bitterest death I have ever endured. We long ago lost track of how much time has passed since we first entered the manse. I cannot help but hate these unquiet dead, these decrepit souls that have allowed themselves to be enslaved. Perhaps I have been fighting for too long. Perhaps my heart is grown cold with the losses we have endured. Am I becoming like them? These icy, despairing ghasts? That will never be my fate, surely. The Skyhelms will strive on as one. We will put an end to this blighted place. Cobalt, my Stardrake, Vortex, and all those who have suffered at the hands of these terrors will be avenged. May the light of our lightning guide us from this darkness and on to victory in Sigmar's name!
So I appear to be missing a scrying of the Smoke Seer, which I don't quite understand because I captured a lot of those lore pots and they were just giving me items. So is it just randomly generated whether you get those or not? There's actually 4 of them, so I'm missing 2 of them. Alright, well we'll skip that then, in case I do get it later. So I guess we'll go on to On the Hunt.
Can you smell that? No? One day you will, and you'll never forget it. Sickly sweet, festering. The stink of chaos. The ugliest scent you'll ever catch. That was my scent once. Oh, don't worry. I can tell you're desperate to ask. You've heard all the stories. Were probably warned about me before you were assigned here. Alric Nightrunner, former servant of chaos. Alric Nightrunner, once a champion of the Dark Gods. Well, is Alric Nightrunner Lord Aquila to you? Yes, the stories are true. Some of them. Yes, I was lost before Sigmar himself found me, a slave to darkness. I wandered in dark places, and my soul was rotten. That was before the hammer fell. Before blessed Gul Miraz itself struck me and banished the taint from my soul forever. I still have the scar. I can smell chaos here. I should know better than any. The hunt is about to begin. There's nothing finer. As a duty, it's never onerous. As a game, it never grows old. The hunts I could tell you about. Tracking the soul-blight vampire, Von Essling, through the Black Marsh for 99 weeks. Harrying the demon magister of Skellernum through his own maddening maze of mirrors. 9 months on the ice seas of Gur, battling the Krakendraw. Those are the moments I exist for. To track the enemies of the free cities, be they man, immortal, or monster. To the ends of the mortal realms. To the edge of the firmament if need be. We are Sigmar's hunters, and none are beyond our reach. Gairan is a fine place for a hunt. It does me well to be back here, among the glades and thickets. I will drive the taint from this place, as Gul Miraz struck the taint from me. You know, I was first taught to hunt in this realm. As a boy, my father taught me how to catch bushhorns and tree leapers. That was before chaos came, before I was taken, before Sigmar saved me. I remember little of that time now. And with each reforging, it grows dimmer. But that does not matter. I will never forget how to hunt, and I will never rest while the slaves to darkness defile this realm. Just stick by my side, and I'll show you how it's done. We in the Vanguard are the tip of Sigmar's spear. We lead the avenging hosts. We track safe paths for the forces of order and direct their passage through the realms. Most of all, we are the hunters of Sigmar's enemies. Wherever they go, we are their shadow. When they strike out, we follow. When they pause for rest, we are there, watching and waiting. When the moment is right, we descend with a vengeance and slay without mercy. Those who stand and fight, die. Those who flee are tracked down. No matter how far or how fast, no matter whether they run or hide, the Vanguard finds them and finishes them. It is Sigmar's will that we exterminate the evil from the realms. And Sigmar's will is always going to be done.
Oh, this is gonna be hell annoying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm definitely missing Mad Visions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And I'm missing 2 of these. Alright, well. I guess with that, I will call quits here for the day, and we will get started on our next campaign with the hunts. So, I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe. Encouraging me to post more content for you. Have a great day.